the surrounding countryside is so beautiful. You've got these beautiful forests, it's just pine everywhere, and then you go through that forest and you come out to this huge sand dune, and it's massive. It's like so big, and we climb that and you can see all over, and you can see the mountains and the beach. And
it was great to have the opportunity to see so many different environments. We got to see things on the dune, we saw beetles on the sand, we saw chameleons in the forest. We also did a marine day, which was awesome. We got to see things that just don't happen in the UK. We had the opportunity to see so many different types of animals in such a short space of time and in a small area. It wasn't that big to get that much diversity in that space.
So we started off doing big group activities, so we'd go on walks where the lecturers and the demonstrators would identify plants and arthropods we came across, which was really interesting. You actually learn quite a bit just by listening and just by looking. And then as the week progressed, we began to do individual things like we'd identify species and make like flashcards or identification cards, and we'd do posters, and then we'd go on and do our own thing. So we'd take that knowledge from earlier in the weeks.
I went to the field course just being like, this is a course I have to do, and I came back being like, when am I going back? I want to do it again, and I want to learn more, and I want to see more. And all the lecturers and all the demonstrators just made that so much better. It was such a great place to be, and I recommend it to everyone. You have to do it.
I think the course is brilliant in the fact that it really fills the void and bridges knowledge between first year, second year and third year. It really follows on from the first year Spanish field course and helps us build upon those identification skills, those project planning skills, group work skills, and one of my main interests is actual field work, so it's brilliant to actually be doing something I really enjoy, getting out all day, looking at organisms.
One of the unique things about the module is that you are taken out of the sort of lecture environment where you're just taught at, and you're put through a series of seminars from outside speakers and hands-on tutorials which are given by the lecturers. After all of that, you're able to take it and put it all together and go out into the field and use it to carry out your own survey and consolidate the knowledge which you've gained throughout the whole module, allowing you to sort of work towards the idea of carrying out a phase 1 habitat survey.
I mean, the New Forest is an amazing habitat with all this wetland and heathland, like deciduous woodland, broadleaf woodland. You've got everything, and you can just do so much with it. Through this series of seminars and tutorials, we really learnt about the wider picture of management in the New Forest from the National Park authorities and other agencies like that. So then when we came to the New Forest and did field work, we could apply what we'd learned. We could think about the bigger picture rather than exactly just what we were looking at there. We could think of it in a much wider context.
You go to forest and pretty much choose what you want to study whilst you're there. You do look at how to identify British species, so bird species, butterflies, bees, which are really useful skills for to have, because there aren't a lot of people who can do that. You always come across like different like sort of rare species as well. Like we found like a few rare birds and things as well, which is quite nice to say that you've seen.
The mussel thrush was really cool. I've never seen one before doing this. And the long-tailed tits, I've seen a couple of those around. And the robins, there's a robin just landed over there. The robins, I always love the robins. There's so many in the New Forest. And they're such charismatic birds. Working in a team in a survey situation, which is kind of paralleled in ecological consultancy, sort of doing the projects as well. We were looking at nut hunts, looking at different types of hazelnuts to look for dormice presence, which is an important protected species. And also doing the field trips out as a whole big group and doing the habitat surveys.
Being in the field has a better advantage to actually gaining more knowledge and better identification skills, because you can actually see it there in front of you. You can take a closer look at it, which is something you can't do in a textbook. You know, you can have your magnifying glass, you can really get up close, take a proper look, and it just really reinforces learning, because you remember, okay, I was in the New Forest, I saw this there, it has these features. Just amazing we can go to somewhere that's so close to the university, right on our doorstep, and see just this amazing range and diversity of different organisms. It's just amazing.
In the lecture room in Southampton, we can show students pictures of tropical biodiversity, but we have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of space to do this. When you bring the students actually into a tropical environment such as the rainforest in Belize, the multitude of species and the multitude of interactions, it just becomes really apparent. You can't fit this into a lecture.
So if you go to a field course like this, you're going to the animals and specimens instead of them coming to you in a lab. So stuff is just so much more natural here. There's as I said, it's so much more to learn, it's so much more open. It's especially from an ecology standpoint, you can see everything in motion around you rather than just reading them in a book as black and white text, whereas here they're living and breathing and moving.
For me, I think it's that I can learn so much more by actually doing it and having the hands-on experience. It beats sitting in the lecture theatre.
You do really need to get your hands dirty sometimes and actually do it yourself, otherwise it's an incomplete education. And coming out here and seeing the sights, you can really appreciate what's around you. It really motivates you to keep going, go back home, study about it, for maybe a chance of coming back and doing it again.
Whatever happens to our tropical rainforest has a profound effect on human beings. So it's important for the student to appreciate that relationship between man and the forest.
Tropical ecology field course is kind of it's a very unique experience.
Yeah, it's really nice to have everyone kind of getting along and intermingling and getting to spend time with people that you don't really spend time with outside of this module.
It's nice that it's like a smaller group as well, so that we actually get a chance to do loads of different things.
Being able to see the savanna grasslands and then come into the heart of the tropical forest and see how they differ and experience the different climates, because even though it's one country, there's quite a lot of diversity throughout it. I think that's really good. And just realise that the reason I'm studying this subject is because I actually have an interest in nature and biology, and that's what I want to spend my time doing.
It's been a learning experience like no other really. Before I came here, I never really left Europe, so not leaving Europe and then jumping into a Belizean tropical jungle was a hell of a step, but it's been amazing. Like, it's so different. There's like stuff to see at every turn. You learn so many new things, not only by yourself, but from the people you're with. There's so many new things to see, there's so many new things to sort of investigate. It's like turning over a new leaf in a forest, basically. There is just so many things to see and experience, and I don't think it has any measure. There's no measure for this kind of experience, and I'm so glad I chose to do it, because it's going to be one of the best things I'll probably ever do in my life, probably.
I think the great thing about this field course is that actually all of the lecturers and the demonstrators just really want to be here, and we've absolutely loved our time at Las Cuevas.
Favourite animal I'd have to say would be the jaguar. Like, when we caught it on the camera trap just outside about 7:30 was really, really cool, because you just realise how close to nature and stuff that you are here.
definitely hearing the motmot really early in the morning, and it's such an elusive bird that you don't get to see very often, and getting to even just hear it and know that it was there and kind of have an interaction with it, that was, for me, that was pretty special.